Hello everyone, welcome to Powerline. This is Kaiser here, and I'm giving you the deck profile I've been promising probably for months, and that's narukami. And the reason I haven't really done it is that I always go back and forth on this deck. Like, I like it one recently, I don't. I mean, it kind of depends for me, but I've kind of come to my peace with it, and I don't know, I love playing control, so I find it fun to play this deck. So let's start with the starter, Saishin. In this meta, when a lot of starters kind of dictate the flow of the game, it helps to just get rid of that threat. Judge Bao, Andre, the Great Nature starter, I mean, get rid of it all with it. It's very relevant. Then I play 8 crit, 4 draw, 4 heal. Basically my trigger lineup with any deck. Now, I play the Jin because it's actually relevant for making columns, and it also can sometimes fuel Soul for turbo. So, that's pretty much it. Grade 1s. 4 Perfect Guards. Standard. This deck doesn't counterblast as much as you would think, but, you know, it does help here and there. If you really want, you can run old perfects. 4 Pligma. It's an 11k attacker on Generation Break turn, which is very relevant, and also on Conquest's turn it's 21k, so I don't have to play anything else behind it for a huge number. 4 Stride Enablers, we stride in this deck. Simple as that. And 2 Phoenixes. Now, Phoenix is the card that I kind of go back and forth on. You can run the Wild Clock, the 10k attackers, but I've always liked this card as a pretty easy +1. So, and also, especially in this meta with Diablo, you kind of want cards that go plus, because then when you sack them, it's not as big a deal to you. Next. Now, these are all supposed to be Sky Howl, but for reasons right now, I only have 2 of this and 2 Death Scythe, which is fine. You can do whatever you want, really, but the fact Sky Howl is a Counterblast 1, and it's a free front row retire, even at grade 2, that's pretty strong. There are actually situations when Scythe can be better, but I always like counterblasting less to get the same result.
Gotta get that back row.
Yeah, oh yeah, that too. 3 Chatera. This card's stupid. I don't know why they released this, but I'm happy they did, because my favorite cards when I started playing the game was actually Magician Girl Kirara from Nova Grapplers, which is actually a 9k counterblast 2, you draw 1. So I always liked cards like that, because it would force cards out of my opponent's hand to stop me from drawing, or if they let it hit, I would draw. So it was kind of a win-win. And this card is a win-win in a lot of ways, because it just puts down pressure, and if they let it hit, you bind 1 from drop, which can be relevant in some matchups, and you draw a card. Like, that's so good. So strong. Then I run 2 of each mate for the grade 3s. I used to run 3 of this, 1 of that, but a friend of mine was borrowing the deck for a while, and he kept saying to me, I always can't Legion with the other grade 3s, so you have to run 2 and 2. So, I did, and it's been working out pretty well so far. Now, 4 of each Brawler grade 3, because really there aren't any other good options. These cards are awesome. I mean, this I'll sometimes ride if my opponent's playing the chicken game against me and they're at high damage, because I could Soul Blast 1 to hit 14 by itself, so with a boost, it's at 19 usually. Very relevant. It's good. And also, it's the cross ride. I mean, it's the card you need to cross ride with this, or fake cross ride, as I like to say, because when you use this card's Legion effect, you can put a Brawler grade 3, any grade 3, into the Soul, and it can attack 4 units. Now, this is good because it sets up defensive plays, and it also sets up the Soul for turbo, and it sets up the Legion for turbo, which is it's arguably one of the reasons that this deck is stronger than the Crimson deck I used to play. When you turn 3 Stride onto turbo, that is really strong. I mean, you get the ability to snipe their back row, front, whatever you need to hit, and also hit numbers with your mates. It's just so strong. So for that reason, I play 2 of this and then 2 of this. Zoras I'm always partial to, because if my opponent tries being cheeky and only playing 1 rear guard, I'll go, okay, that's nice, Zoras attack. And if they're playing a Legion deck, they don't want this to hit. They just really don't, because then I start controlling their drop zone. That's annoying. And then if it comes down to it, I'll turbo them later, or I'll Legion turbo later so they get punished more. It's dang strong. Then 4 Conquest. This card is just so strong. I mean, I'll talk about it for ages, but it rips cards out of hand. The ability to give your front row 10k, as well as retire your opponent's unit in the front, it's just really good. So there aren't many wumbo combos with this deck, but it's just really straightforward. Just punch your opponent's rear guards, gain power, rinse and repeat. It's very simple to play, but very effective. So if you guys like this deck profile, be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and I'll talk to you guys soon.